For this next assignment, we're going to draw a cityscape in perspective. And to do that correctly, we're going to use a set of tools and panels in Illustrator that will help us make this a very simple process. But first, we need to create our building artwork as symbols. So I'm going to walk you through that in this video, and then the next video we'll talk about the perspective tools. So this is the goal. We want to make 8 buildings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I have 9 here, but you're going to make 8. And we want to make 2 sides of each building. So I am going to get rid of these, show you how I did it. And go to your symbol library, and you can get rid of these standard symbols. Just hit the trash can. We're going to make our own symbol set. So, rectangle tool. Choose a fill color, no stroke. Draw a rectangle for your first building. Now, we're going to offset this path, which means we're going to create the same path but a little bigger or a little smaller to make the windows. So to do that, you go under Object, Path, Offset Path, and you see you can change the measurement, but the default actually works pretty well here. I'm going to hit OK. And now I have 2 rectangles. I'm going to change the fill color of the smaller one so we can see it. And this is going to become my window grid. First, I want to make some room for a door at the bottom, so I'm going to drag this up a bit. Now I'm going to split this darker rectangle into a grid of windows. So I'm going to go to Object, Path again, and we're going to split into grid. And make sure your preview is clicked on. Hit the up arrow here and split it into rows and columns. You might want to put a little gutter up depending on what you're trying to accomplish. That might be a little big. So you can change the number so you get the effect you want. That looks pretty good. And hit OK. So now we got our windows here. I'm going to add a little door at the bottom. And to center the door, you can click and drag, get it, eyeball it. I'll make sure my smart guides are on. So click on smart guides. And if I start dragging it with smart guides, you see it snaps to the center. So you know that it's dead center. Another way you can do it is to select the small square, hit Shift, select the building, and then click the building again so it gets this thick line around it. So we're going to center based on this building. And then you get your center tools over in your properties. You can hit the center, and I'm going to hit the bottom align so the door is flush to the bottom. So now we got our first side of our first building. So you're going to repeat that process until you have, hang on one second, until you have 8 buildings like this. So make 8 buildings, and then you're going to duplicate them. So you can select them all, edit, copy, edit, paste. Or the keyboard shortcut is to select them all, hold down Option, and click and drag, and it'll duplicate. And then you want to change the colors because you want each side of the buildings to be different colors. So you can go in and individually recolor everything, or you can use that edit colors, recolor artwork, or you can invert. Let's see what invert does. You can invert the colors. So that's going to get the opposite color on the color wheel. I don't know if you want it that different. But you can go under edit colors, recolor artwork, and you can recolor it this way as well. Unclick the chain, and you can change the color of the second side. If I want to keep it somewhere in the same ballpark as the other side. So find something you like, and then you're going to take each building and you're going to create symbols of each building. So I'm going to hit the plus sign while it's selected. I'm going to call this building, you want to name it so it makes sense. So I'm going to name this B1. Then I'm going to name this B2. And do that for all your buildings. So when we go to the hamburger menu here, you can do a small list view, and they'll be in order: B1, B2, you do A1, A2, B1, B2, C2. So name it in a sequence that makes sense. And then we'll be ready to go to the next video and talk about perspective.